Chapter 4 Section 8. Let us now, at this stage, ponder over the details of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam's life. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam is called a Khathamun Nabiyyin. We also accept that he was sent as a guide to the whole world. We cannot enumerate the number of people who were living during the Prophet's time, those who came after him and those who have still to come in the future. All these people were not similar or identical in their behavior, knowledge, body shape, or in many other ways. They will be so even in the future. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam has expostulated and practically demonstrated all matters related to everyone who has to live till the last day in this world. It includes matters that are common to all, specific to some, and examples to show by his practices. Quran is also formulated with this very same objective. If not, we cannot call or accept it as the last of the religions, and our Prophet as Khathamun Nabiyyin. If looked with understanding, Quran and the Prophets have explained and described all matters common to all, specific to some, and as to how they should live by their own practical examples. Quran has fully and completely, without leaving even an atom, still continues explaining and describing. I, therefore, would like to compare Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam with the mathematical table. If you take the mathematical table, we can add, subtract, multiply and divide, and by using it find the answer. However, a complex problem may be it will not be above the ability of the mathematical table or the basics of it. Quran too is like that. In man's knowledge and in his life, whatever a problem that arises, and however complex it may be and in whatever type it may be, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam's words, actions and ideas in the Quran together would provide the answer to it. But in the process of trying to find the answer, we must be possessed with a very clear and free mind and common sense. Our forefathers accepted it by word of mouth but could not do so in their minds. They, as Quran and Hathees were common to all, thinking everything is for everybody and fully believing in it, gave their own explanatory commentaries. Mankind is divided into awam, kawas, kawas, and to every one of them separately or collectively are revealed religious discourses in the Quran, and it is so even in the Hathees. This important aspect is not known or ignorant to many, or miss their own knowledge. When they come across ayahs that confront each other, they judge it as being changed. We cannot say even a word of the Quran is changed. If one group judges it as being changed, the very same ayah may become necessary to another group. Hence, the contention that Quran's ayahs being changed is all false and holds no water. This idea is the result of ignorance emerging out of the inability to analyze correctly. Likewise, some of the Hathees that is not to their liking is declassified and called a laib. When one of the Ravis is considered a liar, his Hathees is not accepted. Some who preached it to the ordinary folks have in their commentaries blacked out the advice given to the men of knowledge. They were of the view that if the latter advice are given to the ordinary man, the existing social fabric would disintegrate, hence they stuck to giving commentaries that would keep the common man within their control by employing strategies with that in mind in all their commentaries. For example, it was in one of their commentaries that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam and his companions praying regularly till their demise was mentioned. In their commentary they included that regular prayers is a compulsory duty for a mu'min, and as the Quran says we must pray regularly till our death. The ones who do not do so would become a kafir or already become a kafir. To confirm their inferences in their commentaries, They selected and provided only the Hathees that supported their contention and did the same in the case of religious revelations. They completely blocked out any in the Quran or Hathees that in their opinion would cast doubts on their inferences in their commentaries. The common man innocently believed their contention without any opposition. In case of religious revelations, Murthath the sentence with many meanings and Mukamath being the sentence with only one meaning, were distorted to serve and support their contentions. What is prevalent in our society as at present is this: the kitabs used in the present day. Madrasas conferring graduateships as texts. This matter must be diligently and patiently studied. We will in our discussion take only the collection of the details for common understanding. If to be told in short, kitabs written by those according to their wamis, of the many who have memorized them and gained graduations are either ignorant or seriously lacking in knowledge like Usul Palakath, Bayan, Manthik, Mauni Thabsir, Nabu and the like. Without analyzing any, what was taught to them, repeated like a parrot what was told to them in the madrasas to the innocent common folk. They still continue this practice. In the belief that their type of commentaries will be fully and firmly held by the populace and hence would not lose their way, they have also placed in addition very many restrictions on the people. But little did they realize such restrictions and frightful advice would not achieve the result they envisaged. The innocent ignorant common man following their commentaries do so blindly, and are of the belief that they have taken the correct path and fail even to think of it. The truth and explanation of the truth are disregarded by them. The common man affected by the commentaries of the Suda believe that prayer alone is enough to enter paradise and can become Ameen. The commentators and reformists have used regular prayers as a shield in their efforts to submerge them in this fashion. In short, asking an acceptable question to clear doubts arising from a matter itself was considered a big sin and the people were made to believe so. If we do not have the freedom to question and clarify doubts, what use is there for our common sense? One who says not to analyze and doubt is a thief who is robbing your common sense, says in Ursul. Recitation, education and study means getting to know about what we do not know. It is bounden on us to inquire from the knowledgeable what we are ignorant of. Hathees the one who imparts knowledge, one who seeks it, one who listens to it, and one who adores it are the four groups who receive the reward for it, while the key to the chest of knowledge remains a question mark, hence ask for it and learn, so said Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It could be said that the majority of people in our society have lost their discernment due to their entanglement in our ancestors' rigid disciplines. Most of us have stuck to the belief that when we sport a beard, wear a headgear and indulge in prayers, we tread the true path. These blindfolded and incomprehensible acts have transformed man to a state of forgetfulness. When it says that anyone who opposes to what is written or expressed by me is wayward or what is said by me is the doctrine of Sunnatul Jamaat and this group is only eligible to enter the paradise, the common folk tend to yield to their utterance, though this matter is beyond their comprehension. Hathees shortly, there will arise difference in opinion among my people. Then a new group will emerge. They will voice sweet words, indulge in misdeeds and recite Quran. That will not go beyond their ribs. In the same manner as the arrow ejects from a game, they will be removed from their religion. They will never return till the arrow reaches its quiver. They will be the evil ones in creation. May those who kill them or killed by them attain a life of bliss. They will be summoned towards Quran. But they will have no connection, whatsoever, in it. One who kills them will be close to Allah in a supreme state, So said Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. O Prophet, what is their symbolic feature? Inquired his companions. The symbolic feature would be shaving of head, so said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Anas Rahmatullah, authority, Abu Dawud. Similar Hathees exist. Are they our ancestors? Ponder. As the political ideologies world over change from time to time, from one country to another, the fundamental principles and the culture of Islam too has changed from time to time. The reason being certain explanations by the interpreters are contrary to the truth. Hathees' ignorance to some degree is evident in wisdom. It is a fact that wisdom will not yield to ignorance, but certain words of wisdom as predicted and the belief that the people will not go astray will result in the emergence of evil deeds, is what is explained in this Hathees, says Gali, Rahmatullah. The general description is that the awareness among the common men is the renowned men revered by them, such as Ulamas, Salafs, Muhathis, Mubassars, Mujtahids, Miqlids, Muthakilis and Muthabakis, except a few great men in them with an analytical mind and clear understanding. The majority of them have blindly followed the Kalima and the descriptive Tawhid, twisted them contrary to the truth. This truth has been very clearly explained by the author of Kalimathul Hakim Maulana Abdurranshid Nikathbusman. I too have found this to be 100% authentic through my research and experience. At present there are thousands of kitabs on matters and details on and regarding Islam. Many thousands of ulamas are beseeching people towards Islam. However, it cannot be observed that these thousands of kitabs or even one of the thousand of ulamas detail and describe the basic truth in Islam or the Tawhid that authentically describes and explains the Kalima. Only a few Kutubs who were living in different eras have taken the trouble to express some matters concerning Tawhid in keeping with the times and the level of knowledge of the common folk. This is not my saying. Genuine ulamas with clear minds are also saying the same things through their kitabs. Hence, some who should analyze and discover truth have to engage in archaeological research. Hathees' best of times is my time, and the times after it, and the times after it. After which falsehood will spread, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, reported by Omar Rahmatullah, authority, Tirmidhi. There are many Hathees of similar nature. Hathees, my community's caliphate would last for 30 years. It would then become a monarchy. Reported by Sabina, Rahmatullah, authority, Abu Dawud and Tirmidhi. Hathees, this religion will be vigorous and dominant until the period of 12 Kalimas. All of them will be Quraishis. When Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said so, he was queried as to what will happen after this. Mischief and confusion in religion will take place, he said. Reported by Jabir ibn Samura, Rahmatullah, authority, Bukhari Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi. We will consider Hathees of this nature in place of need. The Imams that were in existence during Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam's time, even one of it cannot be seen now, said Anas Rahmatullah. When queried why prayers exist, he responded by posing an alternate query, which was, even in it, haven't you made many changes? Reported by Anas Rahmatullah, authority, Tirmidhi. Similar Hathees exist. Hence, it is clear that from time to time, not only the basic principles of Islam, but matters like the basic Amal prayer have been changed, depending on the prevalent knowledge, and these are not known or the common man is ignorant of it. The basic principle of Islam has been distorted during the period pointed by the above Hathees. It is during this time that Kalima too was distorted. even though the Kalima as it is, gave very clear, easily understood meaning, instead has been forcibly changed to one of complex nature difficult to be comprehended. Colombo belongs to the Mukamoth type of sentence, they have changed it to Muthasibnath type that has many meanings. This change is spreading in this world at present. This has also made the authentic Tawhid as shirk, the definite shirk as Tawhid, which seems to have spread into the knowledge of most Muslims. This fact was discovered after much painstaking, difficult and complex analysis with the assistance of the Almighty Allah. All these we would find out in later chapters with supporting evidences. Section 9. We know that the Quran and Hathees do instruct and show all matters that are needed for man to live till the last day. In order to win over or to suppress a group that was engulfed in foolish acts and in the hope of turning them under their knowledge or in the hope of earning praise, honor and wealth from them, many kitabs, contrary to one another has been written, but none of it will show us the path of genuine truth. Except for a few, many of the Sahibas of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam were short of knowledge, but were loyal and trustworthy. They all have without an iota of change collected, written and memorized and given us every aspect of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam's life. In it, even if what one says, contradicting another, both are genuine. For example, one of them said praying with Jamath is 26 times more beneficial than performing prayers in solitude. Still another Sahabi says that there is no better way than performing sujood to Allah in seclusion, and he had heard this from Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam's own mouth. There are similar situations in very many Hathees. The commentators we referred to before were in the know of such situation in the Hathees and its usuls. Since their knowledge did not accept the genuine meaning of Tawhid, and they were intent on leading the common man according to their own knowledge and belief, their mode of operation only expressed the external rituals and matters as compulsory to be followed and conveniently hid the rest in an effective manner from the common man. Men of the Arabic madrasas of the present day also teach the kitabs containing such explanatory commentaries, and those who pass out have also been taught from such kitabs. Such persons do not even know that there are many more nuances that are beyond their known knowledge. This is because, being ignorant of the situation and in what context Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam expositions to different people with different level of knowledge that confronted one another, they came to false conclusions if someone expressed ideas that seems opposed to theirs. They not only found fault with the exponent of the idea, they also adjudged him as wayward and thus hide the actual facts. This is because they have not studied usuls. They do not consider man's knowledge, status, necessity, place and time of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam's expositions as factual. This is because they fail to understand or think over closely on these matters. Likewise, the Quran too remains unchanged and is in its original state even now. But there are distortions in explanatory commentaries and translations. Their distortion is the result of them not accepting the authentic exposition of Kalima that is true Tawhid, and also their viewpoint that the common man may be misled by seemingly conflicting statements. This would be expansively dealt with in later chapters. The distortions have made very great evil inroads into the knowledge of the common man. A person voicing by word of mouth the Kalima and getting into the fold of Islam would remain static, for the amas he performs will never make him attain any higher status. He hasn't even an atom of a chance to improve himself in the spiritual aspect. To put it in another way, they have hidden from the people the gateway to paradise that was opened by the explanation of Kalima that is Tawhid, never to be discovered. At this juncture, it is appropriate to explain about the Abzir's translation of Quran, that is prevalent at present. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted his ummah to be of pure clean heart and very clear mind. His Sahabas have been trained under the basic principle and rules of the Quran that purified the erroneous and misguided meanings of the people. These Sahabas and those who followed them, they bins, with the beans, also possessed the facts that formed the basis of the principle and rules. This made them be singled out among the rest. Those who followed them acted differently. The Quran's truthful principles and regulations were diluted by Greek philosophy, logic of the Greeks, ancient Persian folk tales, Christian testaments, Jewish scriptures and allied false tales, and Hinduism influenced Uruk, Yajur, Samu, Atharvanam and the like, ideas in the process of the Quran being translated into other languages. The truthful exposition of Ilm-ul-Kalam has been polluted by extraneous thoughts and ideas in the tafsirs. The author of the Tafsir fi al-Quran Imam Sayyid Qutb Sahith has explained this flaw in a very clear form. The best time for this truth is my period, the period following mine and the era after it. The lies will then overtake was Rasul Sal's statement. This was stated and well explained in an authentic Hathees. Quran too has expressed the same view. During the period when such false ideas found a place in the tafsir, it was also embellished with made-up stories, imagination and falsehood. Many religious dignitaries, Wallace and those well versed in the true meaning of Quran have expressed their opposition and exposed these erroneous ideas as an Islamic and complete distortion of the Quran. By doing so, have established the authentic view of Islam during this period. The tafsirs now in circulation like a Tarjumath al-Quran, a Anwar al-Quran, a Tafsir al-Manthur, a Tafsir Romani, a Tafsir al-Qurtubi, a Ghazan, a Tafsir al-Salabi, a Tafsir Matharakat Abzir, a Tafsir Nazavi, a Tafsir Jalalain and Ibn Kathir have in different places have distortions by the insertion of lies, allusions from the world of Wamu and concepts arising from inferences obtained from them. Tafsir Thanthavi and Ibn Abbas have some authentic and truthful ideas. The Qutbs who were living during the publication of these tafsirs have expressed their views and published the authentic ideas, but their writings or books have not reached our country, nor does anyone possess them. It is observable that even ulamas have not laid their hands on such literature. The reason for them not to deviate from these polluted tafsirs even by an atom is because it serves their cause and thirst for honor, praise and wealth from the human society. One who nears or gets closer to God's creations moves away from Allah. The one who gets closer to Allah, truth, does distance himself from God's creations is a fact known to all of us. I am therefore warning you to desist from accepting the exposition of the praise-loving ulamas without clear research and analysis of their stand. Do not accept anything blindly. How will truth be understood by those who memorize what is told? Those who have analyzed and researched on the truth could only understand it. The color of the sunlight depends on the color of the lenses in your spectacles that was used to view the Sunday. If we have to actually view the sun and observe its color, we must view it with our naked eyes. For many fail to understand that they are observing it through their spectacles. For some the sun disappears the moment they remove their spectacles. Why? The bright light of the sun blinds the onlooker. The sun we refer to here is the Quran. Those who analyze and research the Quran obtain results depending on their wamu, common sense and the purity of their minds. Iraqi, Rahmatullah, has stated that the reflection of the sunlight on the crystal quartz produces the color depending on the hue of the crystal quartz. The clarity of the image of your face depends on the mirror you use. Maulana Jami, Rahmatullah, states all our mirror, that is our mind, is covered over by rust. Hence in the quest for truth, you should not lay hands on the kitabs and books authored by false pretenders. As stated previously, for one who is cleared off the veils, the Quran, Hathees and common sense is more than enough to attain truth. Due to lack of discernment, the Quran and Hathees may seem to contain conflicting ideas. It is not so if looked from a common sense point of view. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 24, verse 48. When they are summoned to God and His apostle in order that He may judge between them, behold, some of them decline to come. Likewise we have persons maintaining the kitabs they have in hand and studied as the correct version, even though the Quran and Hathees express the most authentic truth. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 24, verse 51. The answer of the believers when summoned to God and His apostle in order that He may judge between them, is no other than this: they say, we hear and we obey. It is such as these as those that will attain felicity. There are kitabs in Arabic, Urdu and Persian that are compatible with Quran, Hathees and common sense, like Kalimat al-Haki, Fatwa al-Makiyya, Bsus al-Hikam, Inshan Kamil, Kawathim al-Hikam, Yawakith wal-Jawahir, Ibriz, Thakrib al-Usul and Jami al-Usul. They are treasures written by dignitaries with clear and pure minds, but none of these have been translated, nor has it been in the curriculum of the madrasas. Hence it is not surprising that the citizens of our country remain ignorant of the authentic truth. Do not be deceived by illusory words, expressions and expositions of those who have no capacity to analyze and understand the actual meaning of Quran nor use their common sense to perform the same. We do know of certain graduates who refuse to believe that man went to the moon. If only they had analyzed the Quran using their common sense, they would have considered it not only as a fact but a very ordinary happening, and what man has invented or discovered thus far is only the tip of the iceberg. It will not be surprising that the sun itself can be made into a rest house. An Inshan's mind will not consider it an amazing feat. The graduate who refused to believe in the landing of man on the moon, we wonder what they would have in their minds of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam going to Mi'raj, or whether they would accept it. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 31, verse 20, that God has subjected to you all things in the heavens and on earth. Haven't these graduates come across such revelations? Haven't they believed in it after seeing it? Will such pseudo-religionists be able to or capable of leading us to God's grace by expostulating to us the intricacies, details and the meanings of knowledge that is as difficult and complex as the insertion of the camel through the eye of a needle? Do think it over. I have up to now, orating to you without providing any supporting evidences. This is because I was confident that you would not believe without the provision of supporting evidences. You have now reached a level of understanding is my estimation. I would therefore expose to you the mistaken and erroneous ideas expostulated by much hailed and famous religious dignitaries as regards kalima and the meaning of Tawhid with the assistance of the Quran and Hathees in a manner your knowledge would comprehend. Do use common sense to understand and clear your mind. Section 10, The States of the Mind. 1. Dhabikath is Suthur, state at which Islam originates. 2. Dhabikath al-Kalbi, state at which Iman originates. 3. Dhabikath as-Sha'ab, state at which affection and love of God originates. Isk. 4. Dhabikath al-Fiwath, state at which Mazahitha originates, through which emerges spirituality called Kasbu. 5. Thabakathas Mahabbath al-Kalbi. This is the state specific to God's Mahabbath. There is no illusion emerging of both worlds. 6. Thabakathas Shuvatha, state at which spiritual grace and goodwill, that is enlightenment, originates. 7. Thabakatholasifthi. This is the state of mind of Akmals who have attained complete hymen and are the true servants like Wallace and Nabis. They do have divine secrets in their minds. The secret would not emerge externally, nor will there be any emergence of evidences relating to this. This is a secret belonging only to Reuben Abth. Those duty-bound may in some environment express the emergence externally. Chapter 5. Distortions by some ulamas. Al-Quran, Surah Chapter 2, Verse 1,2 Surah 2-1,2. This is the holy book, it is guidance, without doubt, to Mufliheen, those who fear God. The sweetness of the fruits of fig cannot be the food of the lowly bird, they cannot digest it. Likewise, truthful religious instructions are not for those who do not have the capacity of imbibing it, stated Masnavi, 1126. We would converse only with those who have fully believed in the common sense and the expostulations of the devout Wallace, the Hathees, and the complete and truthful God's revelations, the Quran. We would not care even to listen to anyone who without any supporting evidence blindly believes in traditions of new and old, nor has the decency to provide the actual knowledge its due place. Hence, O brother, you are who thirsting to discover the authentic truth and have firm belief in the Quran, Hathees, and common sense, do read to the end my explanations before you come to any conclusions. Section 1. O brother, except for a few ulamas who have fully understood the meaning of Kalimat Tawhid and comprehended the true and complete Tawhid, many Mulvis, ulamas and kitabs do state that a la ilaha illallah, the Arabic words of Kalimat Tawhid, has 4 or more meanings. This you have heard in the past. I have read a kitab that states there are as many as 8 meanings for the kalima. The book Ashanthi, the book on prayers that the youths study, does contain 5 kalimas, and each of them is given meanings. A few ulamas are of the view that there are 4 types or classes of people: Shari, Tharikath, Hakikath, and Robath, and there are 4 meanings of kalima. Expostulation of it in such mode is the most appropriate. We will delve deeply into each of it when discussing Tawhid. Let us now investigate and find out whether Kalimat Tawhid having 4 or more meanings is true or false. Let us first closely study our judge and imam, the Holy Quran. Al-Quran, Surah Chapter 3, Verse 7. He it is who has sent down to thee the book of religion. In it are verses basic or fundamental, of established meaning. They are the foundation of this religion. The others are allegorical. But those in whose hearts is perversity follows a part thereof that is allegorical, seeking discord and searching for hidden meanings. But no one knows its hidden meaning except Allah. And those who are firmly grounded in knowledge say, we believe in the verses, the whole of it from our Lord, and none will grasp the message except men of understanding. Note: in this ayah the Arabic word kth has been translated as Vedam in Tamil. You may say that kth means a book. Yes, there is no doubt that this book is the Holy Quran. Similarly, there is no doubt that Quran means Vedam and it is the book of Vedam. Further, objection from any quarter may not arise, for this book is to reinforce the fundamental principle of Tawhid, and to give its explanation. Read this description and the ayah repeatedly and comprehend it. In the above ayah the sentence with a single meaning is, Muhammad, says God. Similarly, a sentence with multiple meaning is, Mudasibnath, says God. We have to understand these sentences first. What is the authentic meaning of Mufliheen? 1. Has only one specific meaning. It could be easily understood by the Ummis. 2. It is very clear and of firm evidence. 3. It is made a law and hukum. 4. Cannot be changed and should not be changed. 5. Cannot and should not have many meanings. 6. The meanings of the external voicing and the inner meaning referred to as Theologians and Theologians would be one and the same. Mufliheen type of sentence has the properties of the 6 points stated above. The voicing of it and the meaning give the same sense. The Arabic dictionary too accepts this meaning. The ulamas of Lahore and Badin too are unanimous in their acceptance. Please keep these in mind. What is the true meaning of Mufliheen? 1. Has many meanings. 2. Meaning is doubtful and not clear. 3. Meanings could differ depending on the place, time and environment. 4. Only Allah knows its true meaning. 5. All recognized educationists accept this contention. 6. Ignorant tummies will never know its meaning. Mufliheen has the properties of the above 6 points. It is accepted in unanimity by the ulamas of both Lahore and Badin. The Arabic dictionary too accepts this meaning. According to the Hathees reported by Amar, Ra, Bunny al-Islam al-Hamsan bearing witness to the Kalima la ilaha illallah is understood and accepted by everybody. Every ulama around the globe accept it. Now think. The fundamental and basics of the religion is Tawhid Kalima la ilaha illallah and all are of the same view. God addresses in Mufliheen type of revelation by Al-Quran, Surah chapter 3, verse 7. We do know that the basic unit of religion that is Kalima is of Mufliheen type having only one meaning and hence cannot state that it has more than one meaning. We also know that by the principle of Theologians and Theologians that is the principle of voicing of the word and the real sense of it that the Kalima expresses only one meaning. The knowledgeable dignitaries and the ignorant tummies too clearly understand the meaning it conveys. Let us ponder a while. Is the Prophet Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who recited the Kalima an educationist? Was he an illiterate Nabi not known to read and write? Are the Arabs who learned the Kalima from him educationists? Were the Ummis the uneducated populace? Al-Quran, Surah chapter 62, verse 2. It is he who has sent amongst the unlettered an apostle among themselves. The Kalima voiced by the Ummi Nabi towards the people could be having only one meaning and belong to Mufliheen type. Could it be of Mufliheen type having many meanings? It definitely has to be of Mufliheen type and can never be of the Mufliheen type if it has only one meaning. Can the common man understand and come to believe in it? It is because they clearly understood that the Kalima express only one meaning, they were able to oppose it. If it had been of the type having more than one meaning, how and what aspect could they oppose? We have therefore could clearly conclude that Kalima is only one and not 5 and it has only a specific meaning. Bear in mind that the religious revelation or manqul has been accepted by the maqul the stratagem. Even though manqul and maqul seems different, but in truth it is not so, they are the same. It is this that prompted the Quran to be also called Furqan. Let us once again analyze the Al-Quran, Surah chapter 3, verse 7. Whoever whose heart that is discordant, would discover new meanings and follow it in order to create confusion, says Allah. We have to employ our knowledge to understand what Allah says in the ayah. Why are they trying to find many meanings? They are trying to find many meanings, for the mukamoth type of sentence must be born in our minds. Further, Alice says they search and follow. What is it to follow? It is to accept and believe in the sayings, writings and practices, blindly following what others are doing without any thought, research, question or analysis. Blind following the blind would be an appropriate simile. This blind following that views the kalima as having many meanings began in the first days of the emergence of lies, as predicted by Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a Hathees. This continues to this day. This distortion and misconception did not take place for approximately 30 years from the demise of Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. These distortions, misconception and discordant views began to take root and emerge strong after this 30 years. I have given in Hathees in support of this previously. The mushrikins of yore stated that the idol worship they practiced was the religion of their forefathers. Blind following is similar to this. These blind followers also state that, as their ancestral leaders stated, they believed and accepted that kalima has many meanings and there are 5 kalimas. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 5, verse 104, when it was said to them, "Come to what God hath revealed, come to the apostle." They say, "Enough for us are the ways we found our forefathers following what?" Even though their fathers were void of knowledge and guidance. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 31, verse 21, when they are told to follow the revelations that God has sent down, they say, "Nay, we shall follow the ways we found our fathers following what?" Even if it is Shaitan beckoning them to the penalty of the blazing fire? Al-Quran, Surah chapter 4, verse 61, when it is said to them, "Come to what God hath revealed into the apostle." Thou sees hypocrites avert their faces from thee in disgust. Employ your common sense now. Isn't it a big lie that confronts the Quran and our common sense when we hear and accept that the kalima is 5 in number and has many meanings, and fully well in the knowledge that the basis of the religion is kalima, and as it is mukamoth type would only have one meaning? Many of our predecessors have written and spoken that kalima has many meanings. They have blindly followed descriptions that are opposed to Quran and Hathees, opposing Allah and Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and by expostulating it, have disturbed us and guiding us in the wrong path. Isn't this the actual truth? The Al-Quran, Surah chapter 3, verse 7 that reveals that whoever in his heart has discordant ideas would always cause disturbance, reveals us many more facts. We will analyze them in appropriate places. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam has himself stated that he would not say anything contravening Quran's revelations, but if any of his sayings seem opposed to Quran, then take the word of the Quran as the most authentic and disregard his saying, was the view of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Hathees, I am leaving with you 2 things. If you grasp these 2, you will not miss your way. First, the revelations. Second is the apostles' tradition, so said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Imam Malik, Rahmatullah, authority, Mu'athasana, tradition denotes principles, Hathees. Surely you will never miss your way if you grasp what I leave with you. Of these, one is superior to the other. That is God's religion, Quran, that encompasses the sky and earth. The other is my family, referred to as Al-Bayth, Aliyas. Both these have Al-Kauthar will come to me. Hence do treat them well after my demise. Reported by Jathim Nu Arkham, Rahmatullah, authority, Tirmidhi. Hathees, whoever tries to say or insert that which is not found in the religion, Murthath, that has to be opposed, so said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Sheihul Rahmatullah, authority, Buhari Muslim. According to Holmes, sin, the cruel one has many weapons and all have reliable and fitting handles. The name of this handle is a lies. Hence, do not be deceived by those in Wamu who cannot differentiate between truth and falsity and are possessed of warped intellect and devoid of foresight. Hence the saying by Imam Malik not to get disillusioned by the beard, as even the sheep has a similar beard. Hathees, He, Allah, revealed their religion. In it are revelations and sentences that have only one meaning. They are the basis of this religion. A broken bar Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, recited ayahs, Quran, Surah chapter, verse, up to 3 to 7. A broken bar, said Sheihul Rahmatullah, and continued reciting. There are revelations that have sentences having more than one meaning, and those who debate on it are the people whom you see are the ones of whom Allah points to. You should be wary of them, so said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and warned. Reported by Sheihul Rahmatullah, authority, Buhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi. In the ayah 3 to 7, God says of those possessing discordant thoughts in their minds, many other facts emerge. Who are these men with discordant minds? This we have to identify. This place is not appropriate to do so. This subject will be dealt with, inshallah, when we describe the Kalima. If we closely examine the above Hathees, it becomes clear that during the times of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they never debated on the Kalima being of the Mukammath type of sentence, and the Prophet believed so. The Prophet warned of the debate only on the sentence having more than one meaning, fearing many pseudo-peers would mislead people, yet this could not have been a matter Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was not aware of.